Yeah, again, the improvement you talk about over the last few games, certainly defensively, it can't just be down to a few changes in personnel. You said that generally things have changed.
Yeah.
Was his attitude one of them?
No.
Something you demanded?
If it would be attitude, it would be easy. It would be really easy because then it's like, so they're good guys. It's not that they on purpose play bad. Never happened. Why should it? So that's why I cannot sit here and something is not going well and I say, well, I told them everything, and then they just don't do it because it's not like this. Attitude is not a problem. In the end, it's an attitude problem, but not in your understanding maybe. It's the understanding of the necessity. So, for example, you can defend. So a player would check his stats, his running stats after a game, for example. Say in the game where everybody's happy about defending, I ran exactly the same like in the game when you told me I was not good. Because about defending is in the first place is an impulse. So the situation changed from offensive to becoming defensive because you lose the ball or whatever, or they are in possession, and it's the first thing you go. So now let's say you go to the side where you have to go. A second later, you might have to run more because you run all the way back. And so attitude is there, you want to run. But it's just this understanding that because in our situation, we don't score an awful lot of goals. We don't create 500 chances. So it's this situation when you are on winning ways, when you score goals and stuff like this, and you miss a chance, and it's just a missing chance, and you know, oh, that's how it goes. Okay, let's do that again. Next time we'll score. Now it's like this little moment of, again. So, and that's the moment where Brighton, Chelsea, where they or Wolves, where they go from. Normal, we would do that as well. And so no, it's not attitude, but we had to. The Brighton game was good for making 100,000% everybody aware of this fact, because it's not that we spoke only since then about it, but that was like the low point where that's not allowed, and yeah, it's work. It's hard work to get there again. If it would be easy, and everybody could have done it over the last 5, 6, 7 years or whatever, and they oh my God, that's so easy. Let's do it as well. So it's not that easy. You have to get into this situation again, and that's what we are working for. And I really saw steps in the right direction, real steps, and that's important. And that's my must be my first concern when I think about the starting lineup, because how can we start and then how can we get stability in the situation, and from there we can go. Then we can do after that everything. We have to control the game or we have to chase the game, whatever. But when you have players on the bench, that's then you can do that. But it's really important that we have stability from the first second. And we are a pressing team. We cannot sit deep and let them come. So if we would do that now, that would be a complete turnaround. We cannot do that. But we can decide how big the pitch is as well. So that's possible. And that's what we didn't do. And when you remember the Brighton game, I never saw a bigger pitch as a pitch in Brighton. Like horrible. Because we came always late and passed through, and then it was like, where are we? Last time dropping, because they only dropped because we didn't been a challenge in up front or in midfield. Up front or defending, midfield late, last line deep, bam, massive pitch, and that's what Brighton used. And that's how many counterattacks did they have? How many balls did we give them? So these things, how said, Brighton did really well that day, but there were a lot of moments where we had a proper hand in their good situations.
Paul? Yeah, what's your view on Mo at the moment? I mean, the lack of continuity in the forward line is obviously a big problem. For example, Diaz, Nunez and Salah have played 343 minutes this season, being on the pitch together. So, do you think he's suffering from the constant changes?
Oh yeah, of course. They're suffering. So yeah, of course. So, but it was a well-drilled machine, the front three. Everything was clear what we are doing, stuff like this. Now we have, I didn't know how many minutes. They had minutes together, Jota and
Diaz, Darwin and Mo, just 343 minutes.
So, and Diogo was not even in that combination probably, and Bobby and stuff like. So yeah, not helpful. Not helpful. Yeah, everybody suffers from that. That's clear. So I said, the offensive play is individual quality, but it's a lot of work, a lot of information, how to move, and not obvious information like tell you down there. It's like you create a feeling about the things. You know where your teammate is and where you can pass the ball, no look, or whatever these kind of things. That's completely. And yes, of course, that's not cool, but. That's why I say we cannot expect just to be back to our best and win 5-0 and go to the next game. We have to work hard. Nobody wants to hear it, but we have to do it. And then in 2-3 weeks, a couple of better other options are back again, so they have more options then and can mix it up. So now we have, with Cody, obviously a really important asset, again, like a connector. He can play the wing, but he can play in the center as well. When Darwin is playing there, he's obviously more high up, going in behind, these kind of things. So all different things. It was always clear that we never played with a 9 before. Even when Sadio played on the position, he was dropping in these moments. But that's not Darwin's game, so he wants to have other balls, and he's a handful there. And it's all good if they would all be in, and you can build there something, but we couldn't do that yet. And
so learning. So you're having to learn a different way of playing in a sense.
Look, it's every week we start a new chapter. If you want, now we talk about Mo Salah. And I don't know if that's the start of a discussion or an end of a discussion. I have no idea. But if you would be in Mo's boots and he scored, I don't know how many hundreds of goals in the last few years, and you don't score, it's the first thing you think about is scoring. But that's not our problem in the moment. It's okay. I'm happy he scores 1. And in the other game, another one scores 1, and we have a clean sheet and we have points. So, but of course, it's like this. It's like everything. Then we started the season. I think we started the season probably with Harvey in the half position there. And Hendo is different, not too different. Now it's Naby in the moment, so the things are different all the time. But usually you have a real basis you build on, and that's what we don't have really, because you can people are, yeah, why is that now the case? Yeah, that's not so difficult to explain. And it would not be that obvious if the opponents would not be there as well. So some of them don't have problems at all, and then a football game can get really, really hard. But from here in this building, we are 100% ready to work through that. Like, but I wish everything would be easier again. We would be qualified already for finals at the end of the season. Yeah, absolutely. But unfortunately, I experienced different things in my life, and not all of them were super positive. But the only thing I know, if the better and the clearer you behave in your down moments, the better will be the up and high moments after that, 100%, because you have to be respectful, you have to show the right things, you have to criticize but not going mad, all these kind of things. You have to go through it, and then there's not only light at the end of the tunnel, there are finals and there are trophies at the end of the tunnel. That's all there. Not now. And the only problem in life we have is constantly the time. Nobody wants to invest time into that. That's how it is. But the situation is not perfect. But I said, the basis of the last 2 games is something I really can work with.
Last one this section, Chris.
It was quite similar really, because I was going to ask about how to assess Cody since he came in. It's been a very difficult time for everyone to come into Liverpool. I suppose it's just reiterating that it's not being...
His defending is outstanding. Now I will say, okay, we bought a striker and talk about defending, but the defending in this position is outstanding. The center position, that's really what we need. So everybody in this team is used to that when the ball goes wide and goes inside to the 6, that there is somebody around. So and then all of a sudden there's nobody around, and then pass just the ball from there. So and against Chelsea, 2-6, Brighton 2-6. So that's the engine room, the decisive room of a football pitch, and we just let them pass the ball and whoops, done. That's not possible. So that's really good. He's on a ball good. You can see in his finishing now, he's a sensational finisher, and he's shooting from distance, outstanding. But in the games, he's a bit in a rush, and now a moment not the right position to a ball. While the ball is not, you cannot even see that. That is an extreme strength of him, and everybody, we got a long-term contract here, will see that. So I'm completely happy. Of course, and now people say, yeah, but he didn't score. And yeah, my God, coming in as a striker in our team in this moment, yeah, congratulations. And then getting judged because of you don't score, that's really cool. But of course, internally it's all fine. He's fine. He's a smart boy. He really wants to learn. A really good listener, and so everything's fine with him.
Last but not least, the Sundays out in Embargoed.